Guys, welcome to another episode of the Lifelong Gunners. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. All right, guys. So Arteta did a video with Men in Blazers on the Men in Blazers podcast, and I thought it was very interesting. I thought it was very insightful, very informative, and a good way to go into the new season. A lot of transparency in what Arteta is thinking, what he's looking for, the transfer window in some way, not totally. Um, Strategy and how to build on success. So the Many Blazers podcast host spoke about the D word, dynasty. I thought that was a very good place to start because I feel like that is where everybody's mind is at. Not only at Arsenal, but throughout the footballing world, definitely in the Premier League. Everybody's saying, a lot of clubs are starting over. They have new managers, they have new players, they're in that rebuild phase. And so if Arsenal ever had a chance or an opportunity to capitalize the fact that they're the only quote unquote established team as an identity that has 6 years of consistency, not only in terms of manager, philosophy, but players and growth and then the consistency of results. Though we never got over the line for 3 consecutive seasons, we were able to do it last season. And so people are saying that we're best placed to for the next 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years maybe, to dominate the league. The dynasty guys. So Arteta was saying that we're not defending champions, we're the attacking champions. And I like that. I like that. Especially because people always refer to everything about Arsenal is always defensive, defensive, parking the bus, defensive, defensive, defensive. So it was good that Arteta said we're not the defending champions. We're not only the defending champions, we're also the attacking champions. And I'm also happy that in the Community Shield against City, that we also proved this. There were no set piece goals, and that all goals were occurred through open play. And so that kind of tells you, guys, Arsenal is not only about defense. We're very much an attacking team. But when you are confronted by teams that refuse to attack and have a low block and continuously are defending and defending, it leaves you with no choice but to also meet them halfway, right? You can't if they're playing a particular way, guys. If the teams come to play fluid football, then we will be attacking. We saw this in 2023, 2024, where Arsenal were literally flying, or maybe it was the year before that, where Arsenal were flying. Obviously, we fell short, but if teams come to us to play, then we will play and we will show you what we have from an attacking point of view. But if teams approach the game in a particular way, then you have to adapt, you have to adjust. If you want to win the league, this is just the nature of the business, guys. But anyways, I thought it was very, very, very nice to hear Arteta saying, yeah, we're not the defending champions, we're the attacking champions. We're coming to attack the league. Mm. Also, guys, he spoke about the group, the team, and how special it is. And how special a group is. The defining of the word special is not just winning the league, but how you react after that. Your attitude, your demeanor, your ambition after winning. The hardest thing is to win again because you endure a level of success. I think it's human nature that whenever we endure a high level of success, that we just kind of just rest on our laurels, relax, become somewhat lackadaisical. So the word special means that no matter how much success you enjoy, that you continue to go again and to repeat that success. And he's saying that the attitude and the sorry guys, the train is passing, so forgive me if it makes a bit of noise. A long train to um that the word special, defining the word special is defined by that what I just referred to. That naturally was part. That's the kind of thing. And Arteta was saying that how the players came back, the condition, in terms of their fitness, their how lean they were, how well rested they were, how their attitude, everything led him to believe that this is a special group and that they're going to go again. Um, all right, guys, let's go to the next topic. So the next point. The next point is um, what does it look like? How do you prepare after returning from holidays? Oh, yes. So anyway, yes. So this is exactly what I was referring to. How fit they were, how excited they were. How well prepared they were, not only physically but mentally. Um, and Arteta spoke on how he continues to even hold himself accountable, guys. Like the questions he asks himself, is he still the right man? Does he still have the same level of hunger? How does he show up? Um, and then also having, to have more energy to be better connected with the players, staff, the fans around the world, and the ownership, to hold the ownership accountable, to let them know that, guys, we won the league, but we still have to continue to reinvest us, having those conversations with the players about success on the pitch, having the conversation with the staff about getting the players prepared for that success, and to have ownership, having that conversation with the ownership to let them know that, yeah, we won the league, but football and sports are transformative. So you have to transform with it. And so we have to address deficiencies within the squad. We have to have that sense of levelability, constantly leveling up, and to progress with the time. Because guys, we've seen, if you've been an Arsenal fan for a long time, those of us who've had the privilege of being Arsenal fans for a long time, you know what a lack of squad building and long-term planning looks like. You know that when you win a league, or when you're close and you don't invest, like that year that Leicester won the league, and it was between us and Leicester, and that January went in, and we never addressed, or we never added what that would look like, and the repercussions of that. So it's important to, Arteta said it was important for him to not only hold himself accountable, but how he could connect better with all of these moving parts in the club. And I thought that was very nice to hear, very interesting as well. Then he spoke about new signings, what they add. Um, and he said, you know, players like Solis, Mesley, less to a lesser extent Mesley, because I feel like Arsenal is going to have to rehabilitate Mesley, like how we kind of rehabilitated Kai Havertz, and how we attempted to do the same thing with Sterling, because Mesley never, he was without a club last season. So there is a sense of, and which is shocking because he's so much better than Kepa, and Kepa was, he was with a club this entire time. Blows your mind. But anyways, so players like Solis and players like Gimenez, um, what was he looking for in them? And he's saying that he's, first of all, he looked for the desire to join us. You don't want to be signing players who, okay, they'll join you, but their eyes are somewhere else. You want to sign players similar to like a Julian Alvarez, who, it's well documented that he wanted to join Barcelona. And we want players who, not like we wouldn't sign him, but if you ideally, you know, in the ideal situation, you want players who they want you, only you, because you know that when they join you, the commitment is 100%, and they feel good and they're happy, and so especially if they're coming from other leagues, that the adaptation period is a lot less as a consequence. The acclimation is a lot less. And then he spoke about them, and he was saying that, these players, the Brunos, the time is now for them, and I think Bruno even alluded to that. He was at Newcastle, unfortunately for him, and he won one trophy, yeah, small trophy, but one nonetheless. And I think it's the first time in their history, or recent history, that they've won something. But he was saying that, being 28 years old, that is either now or never for him, in terms of winning big trophies. And so that was basically the main catalyst for his moves. And apart from that, this so and we were basically the only team that were made sense, because if you're going to win something, you can't be going into a project. You have to, a project that is up and coming that's going to probably produce promise in the next 5 years. You have to do something now. A project that is winning now, a project that is going to match your ambitions now. And so, you know, that was the main thing for him. And it's the main thing for Arsenal. We want players who are there because we want to continue to win. Now we spoke about dynasty. And then he spoke about William Saliba. Um, will he be missed? How will that affect the team? And then he said, Arteta said, we spent a lot of time creating a system around problems like this and how to solve problems like this for moments like this. And we'll make sure that we are well suited to address deficiencies so that we don't fall off or the level is constant and consistent through through moments where you lose your biggest and best players. And I thought that was well important. I thought that was really important because guys, again, if you've been Arsenal fans for a while, you know what it looks like when you don't have any depth in your squad. You know what it looks like when you lose a key player and you have to play somebody who is far from it in terms of standard and quality, being able to carry a team of the magnitude and grandeur of Arsenal. That it does. You end up with a string of results until that player comes back. It's very subpar, very difficult to watch. If we're being completely honest. If when you look at players like Mustafi and Kolasinac and no disrespect for Coquelin and Kim Karlstrom and Marwan Shamak and those players like this when you don't when you don't have a good system and good players to match the system, but also when the players behind them are not that match the system that can play the philosophy and to the standards that you want, and it's just grounds for mayhem. Um, so there is that, and then lastly, he says, "What is your biggest challenge this season?" And then he was saying that our biggest challenge is with ourselves. It's not about the people around us and what people are saying that, oh, Arsenal have to do this, have to do that. It's not about the standard of the league and the standard of the management in the league. Is ourselves, challenging ourselves. How can we move forward? How can we be better? How can we how can we change and adapt to circumstances better? How can we do everything better? I thought that was a wonderful way to close, um, because the challenge is with us, guys. The fact of the matter is that nobody really expects anything great from Arsenal, no matter how many times we win, and that we have to understand, individually and collectively, that the challenge that we face is always with us. We always have to fight against, fight against the older version of ourselves. We always have to fight to be the better version of ourselves. And so, yeah, guys, let me know what you thought about this Men in Blazers. If you haven't watched it, I would say, guys, go and watch it. Men in Blazers podcast. The guy always has wonderful podcasts. He's really, really good at what he does. But let me know what you what you think about what I said about Teta's comments. How you feel about us going into the season, especially after that emphatic win against Manchester City. Hey, guys, all right, guys. So I'm going to, at the point of doing this, guys, I think David Ornstein dropped a bomber saying that we're most likely going to sign Ezri Konsa. So I'm going to do a video on that, so you can look out for it. All right, guys. All right, guys. That's the end of it. Peace and love. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share. Turn on those notices. All right, guys. We're out.